Today, we shall continue our forward-looking journey, focusing on the critical role of localization, the impact of digital transformation on procurement, and the importance of collaboration in the GCC. We have an equally impressive lineup of speakers and panelists who will share their expertise and insights. Before we begin, I would like to extend our gratitude to Kearney for their partnership and contribution to the development of this symposium. Now, without further ado, let's dive into our first session of the day, the Localization Imperative, Success Stories from Procurement. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Chiara Riffaldi to the stage to moderate this session. Chiara is a partner at Kearney's Middle East office, and she specializes in strategic operations and procurement transformation. With an industrial engineering background, she supports clients through economic diversification and industrial development initiatives. Chiara, please.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thanks for joining us today. It's a great pleasure and an honor for me to moderate this session today on the role of procurement in driving the localization agenda. It's a critical topic of critical importance, especially for the region. Today, we will have the opportunity to learn more about the most prominent and successful localization programs. And for that, I would like to welcome on stage our very distinguished speakers, Mr. Khalid Al-Hashemi, Vice President of Procurement at Saudi Aramco, responsible for localization programs, ICTVA, procurement for Saudi Aramco projects, operation procurement, logistics, and warehouse for all Saudi Aramco departments. Welcome, Mr. Hajri. Mr. Ahmad Al-Hashemi, Chief Strategy Procurement and Information System Officer at QAPCO. Mr. Hashemi is responsible for business performance, enterprise risk management, corporate sustainability, procurement, IT, and digital. And Mr. Ather Al-Khan, Contracts Manager, Almajdouie Logistics, responsible for upstream and downstream contracts, chairperson for SIP's Eastern Province branch. Thank you very much. As nations in the region have embarked on a profound transformation, we witness an incredible evolution across economies and societies. National programs across the GCC have set clear ambition and direction for those countries. But these strategies are not just blueprints, are a commitment to the region, to modernize society, to diversify the economy, to foster innovation, and to elevate capabilities and efficiency, among others. They signal a transformative times where the collective vision of the future focuses on the value of the local economy. This is not just about isolation. It's not about isolation. It's actually the opposite. It's about strengthening the local structure to better engage with the world. Local content and localization are the engines powering this transformation. They are the strategic instruments to actualize the visions and ambitions of the nations. By establishing new industries, fortifying the existing one, nurturing small and medium enterprises, we lay the foundation of a strong and robust economy. Local content development goes beyond the mere policy. It's a commitment to the people, to increase the participation of nationals in the workforce, to create jobs, to develop new skills, ultimately to improve quality of life. In summary, local content development supports the resilient local supply chains and promotes economy sustainability. Companies in the energy and petrochemical sectors were the first ones setting up localization programs and set the example for other sectors to follow. These programs are the link between the vision, the ambition, and the action, the implementation. They're crucial for meeting national targets. Procurement is at the core of these programs. It's the key lever to incentivize companies, suppliers, to move towards rich local ecosystems. In fact, the mechanisms that stimulate local content are like the price preference or minimum threshold, are typically embedded within the procurement process to galvanize the participation of nationals and fortify the local industry. Successful localization programs, as several that have been launched in the past years, have certain characteristics in common. First of all, a very clear, defined vision and mission, objective, and targets. Those targets, all of these are intrinsically linked to the strategy of the company as well as to the national ambitions. They also have a commitment to operational excellence, brought about a very efficient operating model, which is also very much embedded within the broader organization. An organization that can rely on the skills and capability of those driving these programs, also on a robust technology framework and access to data. There is also a pipeline of opportunity that is continuously refreshed and is identified and implemented also thanks to the engagement with the broader ecosystem, with suppliers, with other relevant stakeholders. Those opportunities are then transformed into initiatives, and their impact is measured on a regular basis versus the target that have been set. Finally, those programs provide the required support to the ecosystem, whether it is physical infrastructure, capability development, financial or other types of incentives. Talking about success story, I would now like to invite our first speaker, Mr. Khalid Al-Hashemi, to present the Pioneer Localization Program, ICTIVA.
Assalamu alaikum jami'an, and good afternoon all. It gives me a pleasure to be here with you today and share our experience in Saudi Aramco to drive the localization within the supply chain. Please allow me to share with you our localization evolution. It began with the traders and good suppliers to build business community around our supply chain, then moved to support service provider to build their service center in Kingdom. Then we moved and extend our effort to local manufacture and engineering. After that stage, we realized the need to take our localization effort further throughout a comprehensive program. This is when ICTIVA was introduced. The ICTIVA program was launched in 2015 with the objective to building a resilience world-class supply chain in Saudi Arabia, enabling Aramco to more reliable meeting the world energy demand. The program aims to achieve 70% local content, increase exports, and create thousands of jobs for Saudi youth. We started our program with a baseline of 35% local content and work closely with our strategic partner to achieve 63% in 2022. To illustrate this evolution in local capabilities, please allow me to share with you key statistics, including 29% increase of suppliers' procurement of local goods and services, 221% increase in our supply spend in Saudi compensation and training, 1,300% increase in our supply spend on our SMEs development. Also, 500% increase in our supplier spend in R&D. In addition to that, ICTIVA has improved the competitiveness and sustainability of the local supply chain in different fronts, as illustrated in the slide. These efforts are driven through four execution pillars: wiring ICTIVA in procurement, closing supply chain gaps, enabling anchor project, and finally developing our local force. I will zoom in each pillar in the next slides. Starting with the first pillar, ICTIVA has been embedded in our procurement process to ensure commitment and incentives to our local suppliers. Through procurement, ICTIVA grants premium and exclusivity to our local manufacturers and SMEs. So far, ICTIFA has been embedded in more than 2,000 service contracts, 250 material strategic agreements, resulting in over $190 billion in GDP contribution to the kingdom. Moving to the second pillar, closing supply chain gaps, we have identified more than 200 key business opportunities under 10 industrial sectors with an annual market demand of around $16 billion. To drive investment in these key business opportunities, Saudi Aramco provides support including but not limited to investment due diligence, technical expertise, fund and land allocation, and aftercare support. These support investors through a gated process starting from the planning phase until the facility is operational and including in Aramco procurement. So far, 188 local manufacturers were established with a GDP contribution of $13 billion. This includes commodity manufacture for the first time in Kingdom, including drilling rigs, specialized commodity, and others. With the third pillar, ICTIFA ensure fully value chain localization and maximize ecosystem enabling it through anchor projects, which include King Salman Maritime Industry, providing full offshore ecosystem. King Salman Energy Spark has an advanced industrial park equipped with advanced logistic and capabilities. Twig providing local casting and forging capabilities, and also steel plate project to support the steel-based equipment manufacture. The last pillar, ICTIFA enables and ensure the readiness to the local workforce. We have worked with multiple stakeholders to launch 16 national training centers in different 10 cities and covering more than 60 trades needed by the supply chain. So far, more than 57,000 Saudis have graduated and many are in the pipeline. Ladies and gentlemen, localization has been a long and a very challenging journey. But we in Saudi Aramco, realizing the benefit from these efforts, ICTIFA has proven to be a key element of our strategy and continue to play major in improving the company agility and resilience. Thank you.
I would now like to invite our second speaker, Mr. Ahmad Al-Hashemi, to present how QAPCO has successfully implemented the localization program.
Esteemed audience, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, and good afternoon. Today, I will present QAPCO's success story from a procurement supporting localization program in our sector. I will share examples, real-life examples related to prime jumbo bags, supply of additives, and QAPCO contribution toward Qatar Energy Tawteen localization program and the application of ICV. QAPCO is using FFS and prime jumbo bags for exporting our products. Back in 2015, 2016, we had a lot of challenges securing bags in terms of delivery, prices, and overall logistics. So it was imperative for us to look for a local partner to secure the material and overcome the challenges. Qatar Polymer is a 100% Qatar factory-owned business that established in 1999. They produce different set of products, mostly are exported abroad. So in 2016, QAPCO and Qatar Polymer started the initiative to manufacture the prime jumbo bags in Qatar. Just to give you also a context of our size and demand. Our annual consumption of QAPCO is around 12,000 bags a year. Delivery time in the past used to take us around 12 to 14 weeks. In 2016, QAPCO and Qatar Polymer technical teams worked jointly to set the requirement for the manufacturing process. Trial samples has failed many times until end of 2017, where samples has met our requirement. Ever since, in 2019 onward, a contract has been established between QAPCO and Qatar Polymer, where material security and availability has increased, as well as a price reduction of more than 30%. Another real-life example of support and localization program is the supply of additive. QAPCO, Qatar Plastic Additive and Industry Group, is a local partner and one of the main supplier of additives to QAPCO. It operates as anti-blocking agent plant since 2001 and added additional pre-blend plant in 2012. As part of our engagement with QAPCO, we have supported them and helped them in the development and qualification of their product through continuous technical support, sample analysis, industrial trials, and regulatory approval. Our overall spend over the past 5 years is more than 70 million Qatari riyal. QAPCO supplies 100% of our anti-blocking agent requirement. Back in 2020, 85% of our total pre-blend requirement was sourced from QAPCO, jumping from 63% in the year before, 2019. Yet, 2021 came with a different story. Antioxidants is a major raw material for the production of a pre-blend. Their supplier from Taiwan had a lot of challenges with the government and was forced to shut down. And that year also, there were a global shortage of antioxidants worldwide, and the other approved supplier were QAPCO competitors. So for QAPCO, in 2021, a new supplier were added. Yet, to continue supporting the localization program, both technical teams jointly developed and qualified an additional antioxidant supplier from China through continuous technical support with a short period of time that meets our specification. After successful collaboration and support, material security and availability were increased. QAPCO supplies 16% of our pre-blend requirement in 2022, and as of this year, they supply 53% of our requirement. Prices were also reduced by 10 to 15%. Tawteen is a supply chain localization program for the energy sector in Qatar. The program consists of 3 key pillars: new investment opportunities, supplier development, and a new in-country value policy. ICV measure using a formula how much of a company revenue is contributed back to the local economy. ICV rewards bidder based on their contribution and also provide them with a commercial advantage when they bid in the energy sector. Our experience implementing ICV started in 2020, with a hard launch in July 2020. July of this year, ICV certificate become mandatory for companies with local CRs to participate in the energy sector tenders. as a reflection of adopting ICV policy into QAPCO procurement policy and practices, in the year 2020, 80 contracts with a value of more than 250 million Qatari riyal were awarded to bidder due to their better ICV score rather than being the lowest commercial bid. In 2021, 71 contracts with a value of more than 110 million Qatari riyal were awarded based on that criteria. In 2022, 70 contracts with a value of more than 440 million Qatari riyal were awarded to such bidders. So over the past 3 years, more than $500 million Qatari riyal were contributed toward the success of the localization program in the energy sector. With that, I conclude my presentation, and thank you.
Thank you very much. Our next case is also extremely interesting as it portrays how localization programs are cascaded down the value chain and to tier 1 suppliers. I would like to invite Mr. Ather Al-Khan to present the case of Almajdouie Logistics. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Thank you so much for giving this opportunity to talk about local content. As Mr. Khalid said, it's a very challenging task. Nowadays, especially in this region, it's not a tactical task anymore. It is a strategic task. As we have seen, the transformation of procurement from tactical to strategic, so the local content follow the same. So to start with my presentation, as Chiara said, that local content is not anymore about tariffs or quota. Now it's been transforming into many initiatives, strategic initiatives, and it's turned into programs on the government level, like in Saudi Arabia, LCGPA, Local Content Government Authority, and in Qatar, ICV, same in UAE, same in Oman. So the old methods are behind, and now there are new programs designed to invest locally to enhance the economic diversification and the workforce, talent development locally, and the transfer of knowledge from the other part of the world to the region. So as Almajdouie, we believe that the local content can drive the domestic value. It can create the domestic value through the development of the local industry. And with this belief, we drive our vision that we have to maximize our local content spend on both strategic and tactical level, keeping in mind and keeping on track the sustainable development and the responsible actions as a procurement. So what were the driving forces which forced us to implement the localization? So if I summarize, the internal forces were our culture, because we are a national company, a Saudi-based company. So it was already inherent in our culture, and then it was adopted and accepted on a strategic level as well. Then we were already doing the supply chain risk mapping up to the second tier. That helped us to also have a full vision on the local content and the implementation of it, and to increase the spend in the local. Then the business continuity planning. This also, have a very good impact, being local suppliers or local vendors pools available with us, which help us in such supply chain disruption events. So if you have local suppliers fulfilling your requirements, then the risk level is low on the procurement and the supply chain. Then the external factors, of course, the Saudi's Vision 2030, and we have to play our part as a company to Saudi Vision 2030. Then the regulatory requirements, LCGPA, and the supply chain disruption events we are seeing time to time. So, of course, we believe in the globalization, but we have to also look at the supplier disruption part and to develop the local supplier base, efficient and technically strong to support you locally. So with these driving forces, we established 7 initiatives. And of course, to start any initiative, first you have to start with your evaluation, where do you stand? So this journey started with in 2017, and that time our benchmark was, of course, the ICTIVA program. We learned a lot from this ICTIVA program. So we presented ourselves to the audit first to see where we stand. And it was surprise that when the score came in, it was around 35–36%. We didn't even realize that, but when you go to the audit, you see where you are strong and what more you can do to achieve it. So we presented ourselves, started with the audits to look at our spend, look at our categories, and more to enhance the procurement categories, divided into different streams to get better results. Then the other initiative is the benchmarking. Being a Saudi company, we have a lot of our customers or other companies which we can benchmark today proudly, starting from ICTIVA, then Ma'aden, Tasni, so recently Ma'aden also launched the Ather program. So these customers, our upstream, downstream supply chain also help us to, to get the knowledge in a very faster way. The way they are procuring help us to recognize what we have to achieve to serve the business. Then this is another very important factor, that if you want to contribute to the community, you have to be profitable enough. So to be profitable enough, you have to operate efficiently and effectively to save enough amount that you can contribute back to the community. So this was another important initiative that we started doing, the cost optimization, process optimization, taking the help of the digitalization, automation, how to improve our cost and get some margins to, to contribute back to the society and to the community. Then, of course, maximizing the local talent and diversify the workforce, inducting female workforce to come on the front and play the part. So in this area, we invested a lot. We are focusing on the local talent to bring them through a training program. We have our own training institute as well, Middle East Logistic Institute, which play a very vital role here internally for us, and also we are serving other customers or other companies in the market for the localization programs. Recently, BAE company, the aviation company, came to us to plan their graduate trainee program for their supply chain division. So we have designed it for them. Similarly, what we did in Almajdouie. Then of course, the core supplier relationship management in the procurement department. This is the most important one, and the slide is not moving. Sorry, got stuck. Okay, I guess the device is not working. All right, well, to continue, unfortunately the slide is not moving, so I'll explain you. Within the supplier relationship management, there are several initiatives. Okay. So in supplier relationship initiatives, we of course focus on the commercial evaluation. At the time of commercial evaluation, awarding the contract, and then we are following the mandatory product list from the LCGPA. Then preferential to SMEs, the local SMEs, to help them to grow by giving them business. Okay, so these are the 4 initiatives under the supplier relationship initiatives we concluded and we achieved. And today, by practicing these initiatives, I can say we have around 75% local supplier base as of today. For all the services, for CAPEX, and even for the technical expertise. Then, to support our customers to achieve their targets as well. Because as being a supply chain partner, we understand our customers' requirement and helping them by analyzing our spend on the project revenue level. So we have adopted this, and we are reviewing and monitoring our spend, local content spend, on the project revenue level, so we can also help our customers to achieve their targets, the local content. Then last, not the least, the knowledge transfer. As I was saying, this is very important part, that you bring knowledge from outside the country to the country. So with the help of our joint ventures, which are very niche and specific for particular jobs. For example, in petrochemical, DRHK is our partner. So through this partnership, we bring the knowledge and transfer it to the local market. Then in automotive also, we did the same. And then the institute, we have Millie, is contributing a lot to train local talent. And today we are accredited with many institutes like CILT, CIPS, ASCM, and playing a big part in HDRF program, Human Resource Development Program from the government. So these internal training programs now we are serving outside to the market as well, helping to develop the local talent. So through this journey, today I can proudly say that our local content score is 44%, and our Activise score is around 57%. And through our institute, we are playing our part in HDRF initiative for the local talent development. We are operating our transportation services, which is one of the function of Almajdouie, with 200 plus Saudi captains and operators, which was the very challenging part, because the locals, they were not interested in the mobility jobs, but we achieved this, alhamdulillah. Then from this sustainability initiative, recently launched a hydrogen truck. And this is, again, it's not only about bringing the technology, but also the knowledge to the local community. We have done the first wind power plant project. We mobilized the wind blades, turbines, and TAGs from Duba port to the site of the project. And it was all done locally. We made investment in the equipment. It was all done by our own local staff. We sent them for training to Europe. They came back and they delivered it by their own. And this project actually was delivered during the Corona time. So it was a big achievement, and it was all done locally, on which we are proud of. And we have also presented ourselves to the sustainability audits, and today our score is 80%. As being a logistic company, we understand our contribution in CO2, so we are evaluating it, monitoring it, and we are providing this service to our customer to evaluate it for them and to monitor it for their supply chain as well. Thank you so much. This is all from my end. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you very much for sharing your cases. It's always extremely interesting to see how strategy translated into actual initiatives and then see the tangible results of those. If you don't mind, I would have a couple of questions for you, maybe starting with Mr. Hashemi. You showcase how QAPCO has supported local companies in establishing capabilities and become preferred supplier. On a general case, what type of opportunities are available through the Top Twin program to build new capabilities in the sector?
As I mentioned earlier, Qatar Energy Tawteen program, one of their key pillars is new investment opportunities. So they're mandated to focus on identifying opportunities and capability across the sector. So since their inception, I think a couple of years back, they've released a couple of opportunities in the market, where some of them have been already awarded, some are in the progress. And also, hopefully by next year, we're expecting also additional opportunity to be released to the market. All of this information are mostly available in their website, tawteen.com.qa. So if anyone is interested, you can just visit the website and they will release that set of opportunity coming, hopefully, inshallah, early next year.
So the pipeline of opportunities continuously refreshed.
Yes,
and,
yes. And that's the mandate that has been built for Tawteen, Qatar Energy Tawteen program, to look at the opportunity, synergy, additional capability that fits within the localization strategy that's set for the whole sector. And that's the objective. And one of the key pillars of Tawteen program is a new investment opportunity, whether local or foreign investors, to come and build capability in Qatar, supporting the overall localization program within the energy sector.
Clear. Thank you very much. Mr. Khan, Almajdouie is a logistics service provider company for which the majority of the cost base is represented by manpower. So localizing manpower comes with its own set of challenges. What are the key takeaways and lessons learned that you could share for companies that operate in the service industry to make sure that they are successful in implementing their localization programs?
Thank you, Chiara. Thank you for pointing this out. For service industry, yes, the major part of the spend is on the salaries. So if you buy, for example, if you buy a CAPEX, okay, you buy it one time, you spend it one time, and then it will become the part of your year financial, right? But salary spend is on the monthly basis. So if there is a high turnover ratio of the employees, then you cannot maintain the same score or same financials on your spend. You cannot reflect a good result. And especially in transportation service, where most of the manpower are drivers, which is a very big spend for us. So keeping, first of all, to search this talent locally, it was not easy because mobility, not everyone prefer, for the mobility job. So we attracted the local talent by training. We opened a driver training center for heavy lift driving. Then we started their career program because, of course, if they are coming, they don't want to end up as a driver. So there is a career orientation plan for them to grow with the time. And then we started a program called Local. I learned this word from one of the meeting with Madan in their Tarwa initiative. They call it local. Means you hire a driver from that place where you have to make the movements. So they are more comfortable to serve as a driver in that region, within that region. So we took this initiative to hire locals to operate in the local regions, which literally supported us. But still, it is a challenge, and you have to manage it by other spend categories. You have to recover it. So yes, manpower is a great challenge that you can only solve it by good retention programs.
So what I'm hearing is probably the lesson learned is to have a clear strategy and investment. You'll need to set up the school and and a clear goal in mind to make sure that
Yeah, initially it was a big investment to open a driver training center for us, and today we are not serving internally. This institute is not only serving internally, it's also serving other companies to train their drivers. So we are contributing to help and helping other companies also to achieve this target in transportation industry.
That's very interesting. So you're setting the standards as well and support the broader logistics sector to localize.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you very much. As we come to the conclusion of this session, I would like to thank our esteemed speakers for sharing their cases and the value perspectives. We have explored how procurement through the localization program, it's indeed a very powerful tool to fulfill the national ambitions. We learned about the journey of those programs and the incredible achievements and the impact that they have generated to date. But I think most importantly, I'm hearing about the future, the continuous refreshing and evolution of these programs to make sure that you will continue to deliver towards the national ambition going forward. So thanks again for your time and for your contribution today.
Thank you. Thank you.